Hey guys, this is Samir for ThinkDigit, and today we have with us the HTC One Max. This is the big brother of the HTC One. In its look and feel, the smartphone is pretty much reminiscent of what the HTC One has to offer. Starting with the specifications of the smartphone, it has the Qualcomm Snapdragon 600 chipset with the quad-core CPU clocked at 1.7 GHz. It runs on Android 4.3 straight out of the box. It has 2 GB of RAM with 16 and 32 GB of built-in storage. There is an expansion option via a micro SD card. The 5.9-inch display has a 1920 by 1080 pixel resolution. The phone weighs about 217 grams, making it not the lightest phone out there, but it is pretty well built and fits in your hand as well. It has a curved back and its thickness is at 10.29 mm at its thickest point. It has a micro SIM support, and the other features are pretty much standard when it comes to Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. It has the HTC Boom sound, which you can see the speakers on the front, which add great entertainment value. You have the ultra pixel camera at the back, which is found on the HTC One, and a 2.1 megapixel front-facing camera with the f2.0, which makes it great for clicking selfies as well. It has the same build as the HTC One and the HTC One Mini that we have come to like, and it feels really good in your hands. Despite being 5.9 inches, the display is really big, but it's still quite comfortable to hold with one hand. Coming to the features of the smartphone, as you know, it runs on Android 4.3 Jelly Bean straight out of the box, and you have Sense 5.5. HTC has its own custom Bling feed available on the device. We can't show that to you because there is no internet connection here. But there is also the option to customize the Bling feed from the settings. You can have your social networking settings, you can have your news feeds, you can have local content, international content. The content varies as per your requirement, and it's right there, right in front of you when it comes to the Bling feed. You can categorize them as per your services or the things you like. You can add as you can see, you can add a number of settings and content sources to the Bling feed from the settings menu, but we would need internet on, which isn't available out here. Bling feed has seen quite a bit of improvement since we first saw it on the HTC One on the way content is showed to you. You can actually customize it as per your requirement. Now, HTC has added quite a few features when it comes to the camera. You do have the ultra pixel camera, which you can see here. The pictures that we've clicked, at least with it at the event, the camera is snappy. The pictures are quite decent and they're pretty good, at least of what we've seen so far. We'd of course like to put it through to the test before we can give a final verdict. Now, you do have a lot of modes in it. HTC is touting the Zoe mode, which basically once you click the picture, it actually takes a video with it. So if you have a little bit of motion there, you can actually see it. So now you can see that we've tilted the camera and our voice is there, and once you can actually see it. So now you can see that so it actually took a video, and you can actually use a portion of it. You can use the stills from it. You can do a lot of things once you've captured a video through Zoe. You could create a GIF, you could add effects. Let's just see if we could show you some of the effects. You could save a particular frame. Let's say if you're trying to capture someone that's actually moving, it actually captures the frame. And there are a lot of editable features that you have. You could create a GIF of it. You could create a sequence shot. You could have an always smile. So when whoever's smiling, if you have a few different people in the photographs, it'll pick out the frames where individually each one of them is smiling and use the image of all of them smiling. You can remove particular objects from the background and have a lot of customizable options. Of course, we will go through all these options once we've got the smartphone in for review with us. The camera app also gives you the ability to shoot in panorama and of course dual capture, which is great. So as you can see, we have content in the background, and of course in the front is we're shooting the phone, so you could actually just take a picture. And this is usually helpful if you're someone who goes outside with your family a lot and you're usually the one clicking pictures, which means that your picture isn't taken so far. Another thing which is of course brought back from HTC's smartphones, we've seen this on a lot of other HTC smartphones, is the car mode, where of course you have all the icons which are really big and nice. And since the smartphone is so big itself, it's really easy for in-car use. You have access to the dialer, the speakerphone, maps, and a lot of other features that you can use based on you can add and remove them from the driving mode of the phone. Overall, the phone seems really great. We're just going to play a video just to show you the boom sound. Another thing that's good is you can actually search for the apps here. We have some preloaded videos in the gallery app of the phone. We're just going to play one to show you that you can see that you have both the speakers in the front. The volume is at its maximum and it does sound really good. The viewing angles on the display are great in indoor conditions. We did take it out and it was very reflective in the outdoor states. And you also get, of course, battery time information and a lot of other information while you are in apps, which is a good thing. But here is the video quality of the phone.
You start to forget the things you should remember. And you can't stop remembering the things you should forget.
Another distinguishing factor between the HTC One Max and its siblings is, of course, the fingerprint scanner that rests at the back. We've seen another smartphone, which is the iPhone 5s, bring a fingerprint scanner, and it works relatively well over there. Out here, you have a few advantages of using the fingerprint scanner. To start with, you can just set it up from the fingerprint scanning menu, which can be accessed through the settings shortcut. You will have to swipe your finger a few times at the back. Now, this is, of course, a unit that is here for display, so we're not going to set our fingerprint to it, but the point being you swipe your finger a few times on the back so it recognizes a different type of swipe and of course recognizes that your fingerprint is accurate. Once it's recognized, you can of course use something as simple as swiping at the back to unlock the device. You can also scan all your 10 fingerprints and set them out to do a particular task. For example, if you scan your thumb, a particular app could pop up. If you scan your forefinger, middle finger, little finger, various other apps or activities could happen. This adds a level of customization, of course, and reduces the number of steps that are required to access a particular app. Now, as you can see, you can actually select a particular finger or the particular hand that you want to choose from. You can assign, of course, 10 different activities to each of the fingers that you would like to use with the scanner. For example, you could use the forefinger of your right hand to simply unlock the device. You could use the forefinger of your left hand if you wanted to unlock the device and access the camera app directly. So as you can see, apart from simply just unlocking the device, you have 9 other options to do a variety of things. You could launch apps, launch shortcuts, go straight into the dialer, go straight into the messenger, which not only reduces the number of steps it takes for you to access a particular app, but it makes it really nifty by just swiping your finger and you're right there to do what you need to do. Overall, we think the HTC One Max, in our first impressions, it's a great looking device. It's got the micro USB port at the bottom, the power and the volume rocker on the right, headphones jack, IR blaster on the top. The back is removable, the battery isn't accessible, you have the SIM card slot, you have the micro SD card slot, and overall the build of the smartphone is really good. The metal back is something that really sets the HTC One series of devices apart when competing with other devices. We will give you our final verdict of the smartphone when it comes into our labs for reviews, but on first impressions, we are impressed with what the Max has to offer.